Hey, what's going on, guys? It's me, Fang, just Fang, back on another Fang just a video. And it's been a hot minute. I did a stream recently, but I haven't made a video in a little bit. And I wanted to talk to you guys about the future of Pirate 101. This is something where I like to talk about it around the end of every year, reviewing this year, and then also what I think is going to happen in the future. This year was an interesting year for Pirate, to be honest with you. Lots of, well, not really lots of ups. One up, lots of downs, which is unfortunate. But it's something where I want to review on it and then talk about the future of Pirate. And it's something where I am not too hopeful. And I say that always, where I'm like, I don't think much is gonna happen, but like I think that things can happen, but I don't think they're gonna be the correct things that are gonna happen. So first of all, I always like to review my old what is going to happen in 2021 in Part 101 video. I'm not gonna react to it because I've already done that before, but there was a few things, the extension of the Queen ending, which we actually end up getting with the Valencia Part 3 or whatever we're calling it, which was interesting. If you can hear my brother, I'm sorry. He's in the other room playing Roblox, probably. We did end up getting that. Companion reworks. We have actually gotten those too. I forgot. Shoot, where is it? They reworked some companions. I don't even know where it is. Maybe I don't have any that got reworked. I don't remember. I'm gonna be honest. They were interesting. I guess we had the where is it? The ones where you can buy it. Hold on. Forgot which one it is, to be honest with you. Whatever. Oh yeah. The Lucy Sterling to a different class was an interesting topic. Was that last year? I don't remember. It all meshes together now. But we had that, which is interesting. My voice is kind of dying right now. I'm a little sick, so I'm sorry about that. But we're gonna keep going on. So I don't know. We've had the things that I said I would like in Pirate 101, but is it to the point where like I realize that our updates are conceptually they're what we want, but in practice they're just not exactly what we want. I know that sounds like I'm selfish and like spoiled or whatever, but it's something where like I've said lots of things. I always like the new updates for the high level players. I think it's interesting. Now I'm not max on any of my characters, and I was streaming on my Witch Doctor to try and get that to max. And that's something that I need to work on for all my characters. But right, we got new powers. That's awesome. We got new gear, which is awesome. No new bizarre gear. We got companions can go obviously higher level now, which is great. That means they just get more powerful. I'm sure PvP is a little bit different now. I'm not a PvP master, so I don't really know. But yeah, no, I genuinely think we have gotten things that I have talked about before, but I think the biggest problem is the Fatui, the first time user experience. And I think I've said this for 5 years at this point. I've been making Part 101 content for half a decade at this point. And from day one, Part 101 The Sad Truth, November of 2020, I've been saying, or was that September? I don't even remember. It just kind of meshes now. I've been saying, hey guys, we really need to fix this Fatui. You can make updates for those players, and you know, the whales will keep spending money, but you need to get that first time user experience. Now, there's many ways you could do this, and I think it was last year when they tried to improve the Fatui by making people have to walk less with the whole Sergeant Shepard thing. But the problem with that is you're actually making less. I know that's not good gameplay, but you're making it less gameplay and less time before the paywall actually gets there. That's horrendous. I'm sure that the time to play now has gone down significantly since when they released the whole Aztecosaur like free part, right? Um, So it's not good. It's to the point where you don't free players don't get to experience anything. Um, you could see that I saw on Twitter that Pyro or Wizard 101 is like the top 3 best free to play game. I don't know what they're doing with the paywall in Wizard 101, and it's not definitely not free to play. Well, sure, it's free to play. You can't really play the game. You could get up to like level 10, but at least you can experience some of the gameplay. I think you get fishing and housing and stuff. You don't get anything in Pirate. You can't own a ship. You know, this whole thing that I've said a million, billion times. You can't even promote a companion because the Bonnie Ann one's level 12, I think. Correct me if I'm wrong. Or maybe it's level 10. We just can't get close enough. Or even level 8. I don't know. We can only get to like level 5 in Pirate. It's horrible. Ugh. It's... I don't know. So I do want to talk about the future because that's basically what happened over the year. We got a good update. It was good. Some people have some problems with it. I think looking back at it, it's interesting. It was extremely buggy on launch, and I think that kind of made me not want to do it. But then I ended up doing it, and it was fine. I can see that in 2025, this is what I wanted to do. Quality of life, the Doom Laurel. They ended up doing that for like the pity system. Yeah, settle down, mounts. There's the Mirage stuff, which they didn't really do much with. And then we could see that Valencia was going to be between how long Tartarus and Krakatopia was. Yeah, I could see it. Balance changes, scratch, nerf, we didn't get that. Skeleton key boss, we didn't get that. So it's really just like we got the big stuff. Well, exactly what they promised, right? One big dungeon area. We can even just go there. Let's try it on. No, that is it. I'm scared where I actually put my point here. Oh, it's just right here. We got the whole... Oh yeah, map doesn't work. I was gonna show you guys the map. We got the whole, the whole 9 yards with the whole new system. We're here, right? We're in Trinon. But and we got 2 new powers for each class. We obviously, you guys saw that teaser from me, from all the other creators, all that great stuff. But it was just kind of silence for the rest of the year. I think if we could do this once per year, they can grow that and kind of piggyback off that. But we're not getting a level cap increase once a year. That would be wishful thinking. And it's kind of like they kind of messed up the progression wise, because you have to like defeat the boss like a tons of times if you already did Sinbad. So they're kind of punishing players who've already done the stuff without any rewards, right? It's interesting. Interesting way that they did that, because they somehow couldn't implement just, just giving them the XP that they lost. So that's kind of why I waited on that, there felt like there was no reason, and I feel like there is still kind of no reason besides getting those new powers for maybe maxing out PvP. I don't know. So that's the whole year wrapped up. I know I spent 8 minutes talking about that, so let's get more onto the future. I'm surprised that actually works now. That's nice. If you know, you know. Oh my days. It's tough because during one of my streams, I think it was when I was doing the test realm of Trinon Palace, we got the news that there wouldn't be a Skyway, or we would only see one new Skyway in the next 5 years, right? And that's something where they said it's not gonna be a big Skyway, and don't expect too much. And the fact that it's 5 years, I've been making content for 5 years. They released Sinbad 1, 2, 3, Tartarus, Croc, Trinon Palace in 5 years. That's not a lot. We had a big drought from like 2018 to 2021. It was bad. And I think the fact that they're saying, hey, don't get your hopes up, and we're not going to reskin stuff because that's not to our standards, is an interesting take, because most of the new content has just been, reskin dungeons and stuff. Tartarus is directly pulled from Wiz, right? Mirage is just, or not Mirage, Krakatopia is just Zigzag from Wiz. Like, I don't know what they're talking about. it's something where they're trying to put themselves up to a standard when they can't afford to do that because there's going to be not enough content to pump out, right? And it's ridiculous, and I think that's kind of what made me, very demotivated to make pirate content because of that slow and just the fact that they would say that. Don't say, if you're gonna let us down, don't just say it off the get-go. Don't say, hey guys, you've been playing this game for who knows how long. For some of you guys, it's been past a decade now. Again, I used to play back in 2014 when I was 9 years old, right? And I got to Cool Ranch, and then I didn't. I lost my account, and then I finally got my account again. Well, I made a new account back in 2020, and just being able to experience that again was awesome. But it's been half a decade for me now, and I'm a new player, right? That's not that long, and it's disheartening for me to hear. And I can't imagine people who've stuck around for so long how disheartening that has to be when the last Skyway we got was Valencia Part 2, and it's just like, hey guys, you can, even if it's like an Ithaca is just this little Skyway, right? You could reskin that and just make it something cool. You can use Avernus Skyway. I've already said that that's definitely an option for you guys. Just the future when you have a timeline like that is so disappointing. Because why would you want to keep playing a game that you've already maxed out on and then you're getting one Skyway in half a decade? Like, what would keep you engaged, right? And I guess that's the problem with RPGs is the replayability on it, right? It's tough because you need to pump out new content. And if you're a team that doesn't have enough resources, you can't pump out that new content. And it leads to just having whales and casual players go, hey, wait a minute. This game that I love is really not getting the love that it deserves. And I mean, that's not a problem with the dev team. That's a problem with, the monetary value and people who are playing this game, which it seems like it's just gonna be less and less. So it's tough. And I think that the easiest way, again, is the Fatui by, giving us more free membership. Give us events, right, where you can do Ola Skull Island for free. You've done Ola Wizard City for free. Just do that again. Get old players back by, people who haven't played in a half a decade, right? There's new stuff. There's a new level cap, right? There's not any advertising for this game, obviously. We've gone way past the cool commercials back in the day with the TVs. But it's something where, like, there is new content and people could come back, and there is a lot of content for new players as well. I think the problem is they get so off-putted by the paywall, because a paywall on the big 25, I know this is how you run your MMOs back in 2008 and 2012 when this game came out. It just doesn't work anymore. That's not how cash money system works. Am I saying you put a battle pass into Pirate? Absolutely not. Please don't. Well, actually, that'd be kind of cool. You could make a Bonnie Ann skin. Make a Betty Blue skin, guys. But no, it's genuinely where, like, I see why they said it, because they don't want us to get our hopes up. But the fact that it's one Skyway and they say, please do not expect anything big, right? In 5 years, do not expect anything. Don't do it, right? It almost makes me think that, like, I just don't see this game existing in 5 years. Like, is it weird to say that in 2030, I feel like, who's going to be playing Pirate 101? I mean, I could have said that in 2025, who's playing Pirate 101, and it's a few people, right? But it's something where if we've all gotten to max. I mean, again, I can do more. I can get to max, right? But, like, especially on this character, I already did all the other things, like the Sinbads, and I didn't get any XP from that, so I have to grind it or whatever. On my other characters, it's fine, but I'm saying, guys, in the big 2030, you got a paywall from a 2012 game that is getting one Skyway every 5 years. You got to pick that up. And it's tough because, again, it's between you just shouldn't have let anyone know. I think, again, I'm going to say this 15 million times. You don't have the resources to do anything, but don't tell your player base that you don't have the resources to do anything. That's going to delete the confidence. I mean, the fact that there was no confidence, really, but you've just made it go from 1 to 0, right? And that's not good. It's tough. Pirate101's obviously in a tough position. It's a MMO where I think it's definitely, it's been past its prime for, what, like, 10 years now at this point. I mean, I think even in 2015 it wasn't really doing anything, but like, it's something where like there's still a dedicated fan base. The community, the player community is pretty strong. I don't want to get into the whole dev stuff. That's for CB the Scare to cover. But I think it's to the point where you need to realize that your fans are extremely dedicated to you. And being able, it doesn't show a sign of weakness. It shows a sign of collaboration with your fans to have them help on the game. Like doing that poll where, where would quick travel be in Aquila? You guys should have voted Skull Island. But still, like, doing that, engaging with that. And again, I'm going to keep saying this, letting people give ideas, show, let people even develop. I mean, that's where it's a whole legal thing where I'm like, I don't know if, you'd have to like contract them and it'd be this whole thing. But if you can't get devs, there's a team of, modders on this game who can just do a ton of stuff. No, it's something else. I think the next 5 years is either going to be absolutely nothing or absolutely nothing. And I hate to disappoint by saying that, but it's just like, I can't, in my full faith of being a YouTuber for this game for 5 years, I can't say that there'll be anything of note. I say maybe that there'll be 2 to 3 dungeons created, and maybe the Skyway will be okay. Will they go for the reskin and we'll get a new Skyway every year? I don't think so. I wish they would, because that would be a lot more content, but I just can't. I don't think that we're on the same page as the Pirate101 devs. And maybe it is difficult. But guys, you guys are game developers, right? You guys, you're. I feel like right now they just like record stuff. They have the story and then they just copy and paste it from Wiz. You do know how to develop your game, right? We've had this thing. I've had this thing where like I know that these developers do not know how to make Skyways anymore. We've lost the plot. If you don't know how to make a Skyway, you need to employ people who know the game. Okay. Again, I'm gonna bring this back up. The community needs to have more say in this stuff, and it's cooked. Like, I genuinely, I don't like, because I love complaining. It's my favorite activity. You should know this by now. But it's at this point where we had a nice update, but what's next? That's the problem. Did it really do numbers? I don't think so. Did we hit the sales figure? I don't know. And it's tough. And I think, again, have content creators promote that stuff. I am biased because I am a content creator, but have them, promote stuff and get people hype. But have them, it's free marketing. Have them promote. If you give them free membership, promote that. And like, it's tough. It's tough. We have the extra credits program. They're not really doing much with that. It's tough, especially with Pirate101. And it's something where I think there's not much you can do besides that, because you do not have a marketing budget, but you have these dedicated players that will market for you. I've been marketing this game, even though I've been complaining about it. It's still really fun. Of course, I don't have 5 maxes now, but back in the day, I had 5 maxes, right? Because I love this game. Like, I wouldn't max out all my classes if I didn't love this game. But it's something where, like, they aren't utilizing stuff like that. And they just need to, just home in on that. And it's tough. It's tough. It's a tough one because it's something where I don't know specifically because I'm not a game developer. But it's something where I think they just... It's tough. I don't know. I'm yapping now because it's been 20 minutes. But I hope you could see that, like, it's hard to say what's coming up now that they finally got an update out. Will we have updates like that? They made it seem like not really, right? So I don't know. Oh man, we'll just have to stay tuned for. There's something that's coming out. This guy's got a skiff right here. That was a getaway boat. I want to go on it. Oh, where am I? Oh, this is what the. Oh, this is the opposite direction. What the heck? I didn't even know you could do that. Um, no, it's something where I think they shouldn't have said what they said, and I think that they should have just taken it one step at a time and gone from that. And I think, you know, porting directly can be beneficial if you need to pump out content, even though how much goofy it is. Just don't release it buggy as heck, which, you know, that's easier said than done, obviously. But it's something where you need to take the community, you know, seriously. And I want to hear in the comments what you think, because genuinely at this point, I don't know what's next. I know I made this whole video, but I genuinely don't know, because it seems like they have something where they could start, you know, going forward with the whole making more content than going to level 80 and then, you know, blah, 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 blah. But it makes it the one Skyway every 5 years, or in the next 5 years, makes it seem like, hey, okay, settle down. Makes it seem like, hey, we're actually not going to do that, and you're not going to see much content. It's tough. I've been saying the same thing for 5 years now, and this video is basically just me yapping and reiterating what I've been saying for 5 years. And I don't know, it's something else. If you guys, you know, like, know game development and know marketing and all that stuff, please put your 2 cents on here, because I would like another perspective. Maybe I can make another video on it, but it's tough. It's tough. Anyways, I would like to stream more often. Let me know if you'd like to see that. I know if you've watched through the 22 minutes of me yapping, that's definitely interesting. I don't know what your problem is. Put a, let's see what emoji. Put a, ugh, I gotta figure out what emoji. It's not Halloween. Put the jack-o'-lantern emoji, because I like Halloween. If you like Halloween, that's cool. But I'll try and pump out more videos, but I want to genuinely, like, do it on different games and, you know, edit them and stuff. But it's something where college and work and stuff is a lot right now, but we're about to be done with that, and we're gonna have a nice break, so maybe I can get a nice quality video out. We'll figure it out. But yeah, thank you guys for listening to my yapping for 23 minutes. Hopefully I can get out another video, not in 2 more months, right? All right, well, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you perhaps in the next one. Maybe you guys won't watch, but if you do, I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.